Tarbay, soon to be Dr. Tarbay. The doctorate was supposed to be in August of 2009, but it's not that easy to do. So I'm a little bit behind the eight ball here. And then now the run for city council is pushing me farther behind the eight ball. So anyway, Joshua Tarbay, I'm running for city council, place 3. You know, I've met all of you in here. We've talked. You know, I would say that we're of like mind. So for me to explain my platform, a lot of it should become obvious, but I need you to understand that a lot of this is to local politics. That us as EOL, we do focus a lot on the national level. Recently we focused on the state level, but I feel very firmly, and I guess this answers the question of also why am I running for local office, is because it does all start at the local level. We all talk about term limits for the politicians in Washington or at the state level. Well, why don't we have term limits here on our city council? Or we talk about balancing a budget up at the Washington level or at the state level. Well, Weatherford's not a balanced budget. And for those of you who live in the county, you have your own fish to fry. But for those of us who live in the city, have kids in the city, who have lived in the city for a long time, who want to live in the city for a future time, we're running out of money. Okay? And it's not to the point of bankruptcy yet, but Weatherford is issuing debt bonds. Weatherford doesn't have enough money coming in to pay for the money they have going out. And this is a big concern. Our city should be wealthy. Weatherford has had an influx of new businesses, an influx of new homes. I'm sure you've all read the paper or listened to the news or just walked around. We're booming. Even with a recession, we're still doing well. But we're in debt. The math isn't adding up. And I'm not a finance major. My profession, my education is in education. But it's also this degree, this doctoral degree I'm getting, is in educational leadership. It's in administration. And it doesn't take much classes to understand that it's very easy to balance a budget. Some who have been on boards, who have been politicians, who have worked it will tell you it's not. But I assure you, every day, the more I find, it is. It's just a matter of finding the money and then doing the right thing. Not what helps you or helps you get elected, but really ultimately doing the right thing. And I will assure you, don't be intimidated by the politics. It is easy. It's so simple to make cuts in certain areas, and you don't want to use the word cuts, but to divert money, or even better yet, this is a politically good word to use on a campaign, and it's 110% accurate. It's very easy, I'm not going to say cuts, but to stop spending in wasteless places. Weatherford has what we like to call feasibility studies. Weatherford does, they hire outside contractors, and they've spent in the millions over the past year or two to hire outside contractors to see if a project can be done, if a building should be put here, if a convention center should be built out of town, if they should lower the pumps over at Lake Weatherford. They hire outside people, they spend our money. That's people's jobs, man. I mean, that's somebody who works at the wastewater or the sewer or the planning development who's now on worker furloughs. That's their job. This is a very simple place to start, and there's more. There's so much more. When you look into the budget of Weatherford, it can be balanced. It can be in the surplus. There's no need to, let so many hundreds of thousands of workers go. That would be the last thing you do. That's kind of my opinion. That the last draw before a city goes under is you start cutting heads and you start letting people go. There's other places and other ways and other things you can do. I wasn't born here in Weatherford. I'm from the north. I'll say it quietly. But I've spent a lifetime, I used and abused the north, all right? I took them for their education. I got an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and then I took that education and I left. I was a brain drain from the state where I was born in. And now I'm down here, and I have some things to offer the state of Texas. I have some things to offer the city of Weatherford. And for any of you who have the conversation with me, you understand I am of like mind. Fiscal conservatism is a